Today we're going to be looking at the Babyzen Yoyo Plus and the original Babyzen Yoyo. The Babyzen Yoyo Plus overtook the Babyzen Yoyo about 2 years ago, and there were several changes made to the stroller. And we're going to be looking at the changes both in terms of what they upgraded on the model as well as the direction that it seems they're going with design. There are some positives here and there are some negatives here. So when you're looking at the two strollers in general, it does seem to me that they went over the Babyzen, they went over the information that they had from having it on the market for a few years, probably reasons for having to exchange it on guarantee, listening to customers in terms of things that they liked and didn't like about it, and they integrated these changes in when they made the Babyzen Yoyo Plus without reinventing the wheel, so to speak. There are other companies out there that will take a perfectly good model and just throw it off the market and put something else in its place, and that's reinventing the wheel. In this case, they knew they had something good, they knew they had something original that fulfilled a niche in the market, and they went listened to people and made a lot of changes that were quite positive. Changes here would include the sun flap, it would include the thicker padding, to some extent the more spacious shopping basket. The tires are made of a different quality of rubber. It's a little bit harder, and we did notice over time that the tires on the original would sometimes begin to split. They also claim that it increases the shock absorption. I'm not a chemist, so I wouldn't know whether it does, but I'm assuming they know what they're talking about. I did also notice that the springs on the inside are now rubber coated, the suspension springs. That probably has more to do with rust, but it could also have something to do with suspension, I suppose. So in terms of all of these sort of things, they have taken these elements that could have been improved on the original design and improved them with the new one. There's a few other ones like padding on the strap and some smaller things. They also claim to have reinforced the chassis, which adds a few more kilos of weight capability to it. It's not a lot, but it is somewhat more weight capable. And that really kind of comes to the parts of the Babyzen Yoyo Plus that we're a little bit worried about. Nothing has been made more negative with the Yoyo Plus. They've increased sizes of seat, increased weight capacity. So in terms of the actual changes, they're all positive. But some of the changes indicate to a potential user some ways one might not want to use this stroller, if that makes sense. So we did a video a little while ago about the baby nest and how that isn't really the optimal way of transporting a newborn, even though they have a newborn capable method of configuring the Zen. It's still a little bit sketchy to use anything for a newborn baby on a stroller this small, and they've gone a little bit this direction, unfortunately, with the changes they made to the Plus. So we'll start with the shopping basket. Yes, it's great to have a larger shopping basket. The overall stroller now, they say up to 40, but optimal use is 35 kilos. You have a shopping basket this large now on a stroller this size, and if you fill it up with extra jackets, fine. But let's just look at it in terms of use. So you get to an airport, you have lots of bags with you, you have a lot of stuff, you've got a child in it, you're going to stuff that thing to capacity. First thing you're going to do in addition to that is you're going to hang a lot of weight off of the handle. You're getting close to pushing 35 kilos unless you're going to actually weigh what you're putting into the stroller. Now, okay, larger shopping basket, that's great anyway. Pay attention to how much weight you use. That's fine. One area that might additionally increase weight, which is more worrisome than the shopping basket, was the fact that they have now made it possible to attach a wheeled board onto the back, and you didn't have this on the original. So again, this isn't necessarily a negative thing just from looking at the stroller, but you use a wheeled board in practical use with a larger child who's now going to be hanging on a stroller that's designed to be one of the smallest strollers on the market. It's going to put certainly more than 35 kilos of weight capacity on the stroller if you're also thinking about the child inside, if you're also thinking about stuffing that now oversized shopping basket, let alone hanging anything from the handle. And while the Babyzen, with its incredibly well-designed mechanics, has very few problems, one area that we have seen over time that does tend to have sometimes problems is the ball bearings in the back wheels. So that wheeled board is then going to specifically put more pressure onto these back wheels, not necessarily onto the reinforced frame, which, as far as I've seen, just from looking at it, has mostly to do with these crossbars that go underneath. So those are some things that, again, it's not negative. All of the changes they've made have been very intelligent. We like that they haven't redesigned the wheel, that they've simply taken what they learned from the original Babyzen Yoyo and made some changes. But at the same time, adding a lot of accessories that maybe aren't optimally used on a stroller whose main design purpose is to be able to easily transport your child while on vacation, to stow it in the overhead luggage compartment and throw it over your shoulder. Those are that's the function of the stroller. And if you get too gimmicky, you're going to wind up with a stroller that doesn't really know its place in the market. So again, not something specifically wrong, but a little bit worrisome in relation to how somebody might use a stroller. These sorts of things affect the longevity of the stroller. And while you're using it in its original intention, which is just throwing it over your shoulder, stowing it in the overhead luggage compartment, using it as a vacation stroller, Babyzen Yoyo, Babyzen Yoyo Plus, these will last a long time. Very, very quality stroller. One thing I would say that is a very strong addition to the Babyzen Yoyo Plus is the ability to now add a car seat onto the chassis. So they've altered the arms with this little hole which is meant to fit the car seat adapters on. It's actually possible to alter the original Babyzen Yoyo so that you could also use these adapters. But in any case, the idea of using a car seat on this is a very good idea. The reason for that is there are a lot of car seats that are actually also airline approved. And if you think you're taking your child on a long trip on an airplane, it's a lot more comfortable for them to use a car seat that they're used to using, that has the, the proper reclining sort of stuff, so that it's comfortable to use on a plane. So taking both of those elements, a stroller that's airline acceptable for overhead luggage and car seats that are airline acceptable for using, and also maybe traveling to countries where you don't quite trust all of the safety regulations for car seats that you might have available there. That adds to a very nice, well thought out functionality addition to the Babyzen Yoyo with the Babyzen Yoyo Plus. So that's our comparison between these two models. If you have a Babyzen Yoyo, unless you absolutely need a car seat, there's no need to go over to the Babyzen Yoyo Plus. Babyzen Yoyo is a great stroller. They're still holding strong today, and it's several years on. Of course, if you're buying something new, then you go with the Babyzen Yoyo Plus. If you do go with the Babyzen Yoyo Plus, then it's an upgraded version of the Babyzen Yoyo. Just be aware that just because it has all of these extra accessories and means of adding weight to the stroller does not mean you have to use it in that way. As I've said before when reviewing the Babyzen Yoyo in several other videos, it's a really, really good stroller. It's intended as a travel stroller. If you need a travel stroller, this is the best thing you can possibly get, really, as far as going on airplane trips or something small you can throw on your shoulder. Very, very well designed stroller. You do not need to overload it with weight. Preferably don't get a wheeled board. Yeah, in any case, that's our comparison video. We hope this video has been interesting to you. If it has been, we ask you to subscribe, as it helps us continue making videos in the future. Thank you.